Alrighty, guys, welcome to tonight's charting session. Hopefully, everybody is doing well. It seems like it's been a long time since we did anything because we didn't trade Thursday, didn't trade Friday, and now finally coming back to do this charting session. So it feels like it's been a long time. So I'm finally glad to be back with you guys and go over some stuff and get ready for this next week. So tonight we're going to be going over the charts, talking a little bit about last week, any trades that you guys took that we want to review, talk about. Of course, we're going to go look at the news, talking about what we can expect to see going into next week, what my bias is, as well as some things that I want to watch on some lower time frames going into tomorrow morning and possibly later in the day as well. And then any questions that you guys have throughout the night as well, feel free to ask them as well. So again, on Sunday, always what we like to do, just top-down analysis. First thing that we talked about before I started the recording is the SMT that we have at the highs. So overall, first thing, external bias is still bullish. What we've been wanting to see has finally happened. We've come back down into this weekly fair value gap and this daily fair value gap. Retracing, again, slow action. The last 2 weeks have been really consolidative action. Finally selling back off, taking out that previous low, and now starting to get some more volume and volatility to come back up. So I'm looking and possibly expecting to see another expansion move. And honestly, this SMT is a place where I would expect it to most likely get ran through just because we're so close to taking this buy side level. But I am going to be aware of it that we have an SMT at this high. But I would expect to see an expansion move to come take out this buy side level. So I am bullish on a bigger time frame. We got to keep in mind though, on this 4 hour, we've just been consolidating in this range. I think we're finally in that expansion move. We've been consolidating in this range, finally manipulating the lows, bouncing off. Again, this is what we've been wanting to see and what we've been expecting to see. Came down, sold, put in a low, now starting to get that volume back up. So I'm probably expecting to see higher, but again, keep in mind, we do have this bearish SMT with ES. And what I like about this SMT is on ES, it looks very reasonable for us to put in a high here. And what I mean by that is noticing all the consolidative action here on ES, we haven't had any sort of stop rate or any sort of max pain move, I like to say, in the market to kind of trick traders. And a lot of the time, even if we are bullish, like there is a possibility that we literally just go straight to the previous high on NQ or on ES and NQ. That's a possibility. But since we do have this little internal SMT here, I would really like to come back down and take out all of this low resistance liquidity that we've been forming for the last 2-3 weeks. ES has just been consistently starting to slow down. Again, notice how fast the moves were up in the previous couple weeks, last month. But then we started to slow down, continuously chopping. If we form some sort of SMT here, I would not be surprised and honestly would really like to see us sell all the way back off and then rebalance into some sort of inefficiency like this and then have a move back up. This to me just looks more reasonable into what the market should do. Is it a possibility that we just skyrocket? Yes, absolutely. But noticing all of these stacked lows right here, I would like to see one last manipulation come up. And again, notice one thing too, is every sort of high that we put in on ES does not see a future high. We have high one. Notice every high that we break through, there's no displacement, right? We have a failed swing high, failed swing high, failed swing high. Every time that we break it, there's no breakout, there's no momentum, there's no volume. This is starting to show me that buyers are starting to slow down a little bit, and I would want to see us start to reverse back down to rebalance to the next inefficiency, which is this 4 hour fair value gap here on ES. And for me, this just looks more reasonable for what the market would do. And if this happens too, this would give us so much more opportunity to come. Again, that's how that we should think in the market is what does the market need to do to give us the best opportunity? Right now, trading up here is going to give us lower quality conditions and not really great opportunity. But if the market was to rebalance all the way back down to here, we still have the external bullish bias. So once we come back down and we continue to hold, get displacement back up, this is going to be an area where we're going to look to see if we can either catch longs back to the upside. Again, and we just need to get out of this range that we're in. It really doesn't matter which direction. I would much rather prefer down because then it sets us up for longs in the future and possibly even shorts here. Because what I would really want to expect here is this to become power of 3 accumulation, manipulation at the highs, and then this to become a breaker. So if whatever happens earlier this week, since we do have FOMC on Wednesday, FOMC I'm hoping is going to give us some sort of volatility and push the market in a direction that is easier to understand. But right now, I'm hoping to see something like this where we start to break through all this lows, and then this just becomes a breaker. We come back to this and then sell off after taking this recent low, displacing, finally coming back to the breaker, possibly a fair value gap here, and then seeing lower. So this is definitely what I would want to start to see with ES. And depending on what happens with NQ, again, we have the bearish SMT at the high. Even though NQ is super bullish and we are bouncing off this daily, again, the best times to trade is when everything aligns, right? Right now, not everything aligns. NQ is looking really bullish, right? We came back down to the daily, held, looking to get momentum back up. ES is looking like we might want to start putting in a high, and I'm looking to see displacement to the downside. So going into this week, again, I'm continuously going to say this. It doesn't matter how bad you want to trade. It doesn't matter how bad you want to make money. If you don't recognize the market conditions, and I know, guys, it sucks. It sucks the last 2 weeks where we've just been stuck in this consolidative, and it's hard because there's not really a lot of high-quality setups. There's not really a lot of opportunity every single day, right? Normally, before, when we're in an expansive move in the market, we get good opportunity almost every single day. Right now, that's not the case. And again, I know it sucks, but you have to recognize that, and you can't force leverage onto trades that you know are most likely going to be lower quality conditions, right? Wait for the market. Wait for the market. So again, continuously, I'm going to say this again, going into this week, I will still be trading lower size. I'm still going to be focused more on defense than I will be on offense. These are the periods that are hard and why most traders fail. They fail to adapt to the market conditions, and not that they don't recognize those conditions, but they fail to change the way they are trading, right? We talk about this all the time. We talk about market conditions. We talk about being able to recognize it. The hard part is actually acting on that recognition, right? So when you know that we're in a consolidative period, you have to be able to take action to make sure that you don't get hurt from those periods. And then when the periods in time come where we are in an efficient market and it's super easy to read, that is the time when you put on size. That is the time when you are more aggressive, right? It's always back and forth. So you have to be able to recognize that. So going into this week, again, continuously going to trade lower size. We'll see what kind of opportunity we get. If we don't get something I want, I'm just going to continuously just watch the market, right? Again, I know it sucks, but you have to, or else you're just going to end up blowing up. So that's pretty much it on the bias. Again, yes, you have to think in a longevity mindset. It's all long-term. If you can't stand just a couple of weeks or a month of the market not doing anything, how do you expect to last years in this game, right? And again, if you are here to learn and you are here to trade, you have to be expecting to put in years in this game. This is not just something that you work for 3 months, work for 6 months, and then you never have to work again. You get to stop learning, stop growing, blah, blah, blah. As a trader, me who's been in the space for almost 5 years now, I am still continuously learning. Every single day I come into the market, I'm still wanting to gain experience, recognizing things that are working, that are not working. Okay, what am I doing right? What am I doing wrong? You never stop learning. You have to get into that mindset. So when you're so focused on the day, the week, the month, you get so tunnel visioned on an idea that holds yourself back, and you end up building those bad habits from that. Going into a week and going into like the last 2 weeks, you might have seen like everything has kind of started to slow down a little bit. The Discord, the lives, everything kind of starts to slow down. That's not a decision based off of anything other than what the market is giving me. And again, I am here to show you guys the reality of trading. If I think and I know that my edge isn't as consistent and as efficient as I would want it to be in another market, there is no reason for me to continuously, feed alerts, try to trade, because again, that's building bad habits. I am going to always give you guys the reality. It's not that's like, oh my God, Justin doesn't want to trade, he's getting lazy. It has nothing to do with that. It has everything to do with what the market is giving me, and always being able to recognize the conditions and what's going to give me the best return. And when the time is that I need to step away and be like, you know what, let me take a step back, lower my size, let the market kind of do its thing, and then wait for the opportunity to come back into play, and then that's when I execute. Because when the time comes when the market ends up giving us good opportunity, most of the traders are going to be fucking blown up beforehand. They're not going to be able to take advantage of the good opportunity because their conviction has been getting absolutely railed. They have no more confidence in their strategy. They've lost all their capital. You have to be able to deal and go through times and periods like this in the market, because you are going to have to do it many times in your journey. Many times in your journey, in your trading career, you're going to have to adapt. And if you can't, you're just not going to make it. I'm sorry. Any questions on that and our bias going into this next week? Much love, Kevin. You can look at okay, so that's a good question. If NQ and ES, should we focus on defense? Do you consider other markets? Me personally, no. And the only reason why is because when you start looking, okay, this is the way that I think about it. You can, and for me, I just don't like Forex that much. Like there are definitely things like I'll check gold. Like that's more Johnny. Johnny likes trading more Forex. I like sticking with just NQ and ES. And another reason why I like sticking with it is because it makes me even more disciplined. If I know in the back of my head that there's another option that I can do, it just makes me wanting to constantly get like opportunity. I can't stand it when there's no opportunity. I want to let myself deal with that, right? Because if there's another option, if there's another place to go, it's like, again, think about it in anything in life. Like if someone is addicted to something and they're like abusing something, most of the time they're going to find something else to abuse and drop whatever the other thing is. I'm going to let myself sit here and deal with not having opportunity and just having to sit here and deal with that. Because over time, me doing that is going to build myself up and be able to withstand those time periods even more. Because the times when you start getting eager, you start getting, angsty to trade, it doesn't even matter what it is, because you're like, I don't even care what it is at this point. I just want to trade something. All that's doing is just feeding your fucking dopamine, and you're constantly trying to find something that's not there. Does that make sense? Now, it's not to say that you can't. It's not to say that you can't. There's always going to be opportunity with a lot of different things. Gold, you can trade, CL, depending on whatever it is, right? But again, keep in mind that they trade differently, and it's just building conviction with those different things. All right. Any trades that you guys took this week that you guys want me to review, we can do those now as well. We'd love to see what you guys took. Took this on Friday, tapped into a 1-minute fair value gap with internal model, and the overall draw was higher. Let's take a look here. SMT at the low, came down, failed swing, broke through that imbalance. You took the long here. Okay, stop was at the low, equal highs. It's not too bad. SMT here. Me personally, I would have my entry would probably have been more over here, just because us having this much aggression, I don't know if we're going to come down to take these equal lows or not. I know that we have an SMT here, and I know that you're trying to take this imbalance, but I'm more focused on once us hold this, because we kind of start to go through it a little bit and then end up coming back up. Once I see this get respected, then I take whatever the next imbalance is. For me personally, the only reason I do that is just it prevents a lot more unnecessary losses. Because I've noticed that a lot of the times if I just wait for the extra confirmation, I avoid a lot more losses from just taking, a random imbalance. If I'm waiting for it to hold or waiting for like something to get ran through and then taking the second entry, it's just more consistent for me. But I would give this probably like a B scale, B grade trade. Add in the second 5-minute fair value gap, respected 1 hour fair value gap with the displacement up with equal highs. Let's see the other one too. Okay, this doesn't look too bad. I kind of want to see what I need. I need a little bit more context just based off of overall structure. It's kind of hard to tell from this. Oh, I think this was on Friday. Okay, I know what this. Yeah, I think Johnny took this trade, right? Yeah, this doesn't look too bad. I like this. Can you check these trades I took on NFP Friday? Lost some confidence this week, but I saw how clean AM was, so took these on the bigger time frame and saw what I wanted to see, and both of these played out nicely, but both TPs got hit. This week was rough, but these 2 trades taken with half size erased all of my losses. Nice, brother. Love to hear it. Let's look. Yeah, I love this. This is exactly what I would be looking to trade. This looks great. Yeah, this is the same trade, but just this is what I wanted to see more context of this bigger time frame imbalance. For the other screenshot, I didn't get that. So we have these equal highs come down, put in the initial low, come up, fail to take the recent high, sell all the way back down, continues to hold the bigger time frame imbalance. breaks through, again, sweeps this recent low, breaks through the inverse, takes it from the market structure shift, and then rides it all the way to buy side. Looks great, brother. You added it and scaled it along the way too. Looks awesome. Yeah, great trade. I would give that an A. Just came in here. I don't know what Justin said he is expecting for the week, but I want a higher 12-hour super clean for buys. Yes, I'm expecting a similar thing as well. We have this unicorn where came in the imbalance, but I am watching this S&T. So again, like we said, ES and NQ are at a point in time where we could do both ways, but since the external draw is higher, I'm most likely expecting a push higher. But again, I'm just going to wait to see what we get on Monday morning. And I'm expecting FOMC to really give us something this week as well. Would you take any partials along the way here? Probably not, and the only reason why is because from what this trade is showing me and just this massive move, I can tell you're trading some sort of bigger time frame draw, and this is the imbalance. You just came down and took the imbalance on like a 1 minute or like a 5 minute fair value gap. Yeah, 5 minute fair value gap. Took this. So I would most likely be expecting a continuation in the trend, so I think your PT here is fine. But again, you have to recognize the context of it. So for that context, yes, that's fine. Currently in the daily order block, what do you say about that entry from order block tomorrow if London manipulates price? No, I wouldn't be looking to take any sort of short here. I would be waiting. I think we're at a point in time where we need a lot more validation of what we want to do. Guys, I'll be truly honest. I say be so picky this week. Just be so picky. Be risk off and be picky. What was wrong with the scale here? It was up a lot, and TP was not hit, scaled inside the imbalance, and turned the trade into a loss. Let's take a look. Again, no. Okay, so when you have a straight up and down move like this, you can't scale. The only PT, there's no, okay. Number one, when we come up and fail to take this high, come back down, most of the times when we don't have some sort of raid, this high and this low was not taken. So we have an expansion move higher, come back to the bigger time frame balance. Yes, the draw should be this recent high, but there is still a point in time and reason for us to go back lower. So I say that this would not be a good place to add. I would say you should most likely scale out at least once we get up to this high. This point to add, if I'm looking to add, I need to see this imbalance hold. So I know that there's a possibility that this gets ran through because we haven't taken some sort of previous low. So I'm waiting for us to get displacement. Notice we come in, don't break out, continue to fail, come down, don't get displacement out, and then we end up breaking through. So I would have never even had to add here because there was never an opportunity for me to do so. So when you're looking to add, if you're looking for either, number one, a bigger time frame imbalance to add or a lower time frame imbalance to add, depending on what you're trading, I always am looking to see displacement out of the imbalance. I'm looking to see it get respected, especially in the context that I know that it could not work, right? If I'm confident that the draw is higher and I'm confident like everything the market has needed to do has been done, then I'll add, right? And I'm not worried about it. But if I'm not confident in that, like in this case where it's just up, down, and there's a possibility for us to go all the way back down and take that low, I'm not going to add on this until the market tells me I should add on this. And like this is constant, and this is going to get respected. Does that make sense? That's the German time. Normally don't trade in London session, but it was good setup, I think. Let's take a look. Yeah, I like this. I really like this. This looks good. Buy side level, accumulation, manipulation, distribution, got nice displacement, came back to OTE of the range, targeting buy side, and the standard deviation level looks great, brother. Called this out in VIP voice chat, buy side. Oh, yeah, this was like the little unicorn on, yeah, this is not bad too. I like this. Again, good TP here too. Not trying to get all the way down to sell side, just catching the confident move here, which is the rebalance to the imbalance. Yeah, this looks good. I kind of would want to see a little bit more on this. It's kind of hard to tell the reasoning for this. If it was just this fair value gap or the order block, I would want to see just a little bit more lower time frame structure for this. How much longer are you in Paris? I leave the 17th. So we'll go back to our normal schedule next Monday. Not this Monday, but the Monday after this Monday. It would be printer, but the more that we tap into this imbalance, the weaker it gets. So a lot of the times right now we're at a place, again, we're at the standstill place. That's why I'm going to be cautious going into Monday, because we have bearish SMT, but NQ draw is still higher. We bounced up, so I'm expecting higher. But ES is also starting to slow down a little bit. But again, keep in mind the daily and the 4-hour. We do have that little breaker that we came back down, bouncing off the inverse, came down, swept, bigger time frame. So it just makes more sense if we were just to run the SMT and go to the high. But again, since we have it, I'm just being more cautious of it, especially in this condition. These were only the trades I took on my funded from down 8.5 to down 2.5. Yeah, same trade that the other guy took. Yeah, looks good. 15-second entry, nice too. Good add. Looks good. If I hit a win in the beginning of the day, should I step away and take the day off? Should I still be trading, or does it completely depend on recognizing how I act? Am I getting emotional, and so on? Multiple of those things. So yes, it does matter on recognizing yourself and recognizing the fact that whatever it. My answer to this is you journal. Figure out what works for you. The only way that you figure that out is if you journal. If you go into a day, how many times do you journal where you say, I took a trade and then I end up red on the day after taking a green, right? Because I didn't step away. Okay, when you start to see that same concept start to add up, you start to realize that it always happens. There's a more percentage of me giving back profits than making more profits when I have a winning day, or like when I have a winning trade in the morning. So now I'll say this as well. It also depends on conditions. Like in this kind of market, yes, if you have a winning trade, I recommend probably walking away. What do you think about this one? I took full profits on where it says break even since we consolidated and it was Monday. So honestly, it was just because of my emotions. I cut it short. I like that. Yeah, the second entry there on the next imbalance is really nice. Yeah, looks good. Yep, David, that same trade as well. A lot of you guys took that trade on. I think it was Friday. Model I created play out way too many times. It's becoming a textbook model for me. Always take this setup, half normal risk. Second entry will look like OCA. Yes. Yeah, this is pretty much what I look for as well. So the reason why this works and the reason why I look for the same things is whatever imbalance we go to, I'm always looking for whatever the rejection is. So there's multiple things I'm looking for. Do we come up to this breaker? Do we come up, if there's like 3 imbalances here or there's a breaker or whatever it is, I'm looking for whichever one is getting respected. And this is when I go down to a smaller time frame. So let's say this is on a 5-minute chart, right? If this is a 5-minute and we come up to a 5-minute fair value gap, I'm looking at the 1 minute. And I'm looking at the 1 minute to see the structure. If we reject and break structure to the downside out of the imbalance on a 1 minute, then I look for the 1 minute fair value gap out of the 5-minute fair value gap. If I'm on a 1 minute fair value gap, I look for the 15-second fair value gap out of the 1 minute fair value gap. So yeah, great model. Would love to get picky on the market, but any power cable get burned in my head and I switch from time frame to time frame, and anywhere I find a setup, that kills me. What do you mean? Any setup you're just eager to, again, if you are struggling and you see a setup and you want to enter it, paper trade it. Trade it on one micro. Again, focus on building conviction. If you see a setup but you want to be more picky, then test that setup. If you think that setup is good but you're not insanely confident in it and it's not like great, Trade one micro. Build conviction with it. It either works or it doesn't work. But don't allow yourself to get emotional if it works or it doesn't work. Because what happens is people don't get focused on building conviction. They'll take a trade with one micro like they should be doing, and then it ends up working in their favor, and they say, oh my God, I should have went in my full size. I was confident in it, blah, blah, blah. No. That's not what you should have done. You should have done exactly what you did do, which was focus on building conviction. You took low size, because if you would have lost on that trade, you would have been like, oh, I did the right thing here, you know? But if it ends up working out, you're like, oh, I should have traded full size because I had conviction in it. No. You guys end up running laps inside your own brain and just fucking yourself because you're not realizing the psychological impact that you have of just little outcomes, right? If you're focused on certain things, those little outcomes don't necessarily matter anymore. It all just comes down to what you choose to decide what matters and what doesn't matter. So when going into a trade like that, yes, trade low size. Focus on building conviction. Guess what? If it wins, say, hey, that was great. I took one micro. I'm happy with it. I recognized it, and I'm going to continue to build conviction, and I'm happy that worked out because now I know that's a new experience added to my arsenal. That's just going to constantly give me more experience. Exactly. Win or lose, you should still be reflecting and journaling. Am I scaling pyramid correctly? How do I improve? So you have the draws lower. You have the initial entry on the breaker. You get displacement. You're adding. Yeah, this looks great, bro. Looks great. Favorite dish you've eaten in Paris? I had the best meal of my entire life. It'll be in the vlog. We went to a two Michelin star tasting menu. It was 15, 20 courses, and it was the best menu I've ever had in my life. It was absolutely insane. It felt like I was tasting food for the first time. So that'll be in the next vlog. All right, guys. Let's take one last look at the news, talk about that for a second. Again, Monday, we don't have any news, but I am going to trade tomorrow just because I haven't been on I just want to be on the live and I want to watch the market. So we'll see. Again, trading low size going into Monday, no news. We do have the 10-year bond, so we'll see how that ends up playing out. Tuesday, we have CPI. Wednesday, FOMC. Still going to decide if I want to trade Wednesday or not. We'll talk more about that in this next couple days charting sessions. Thursday, we have unemployment claims. Nothing really much. We have retail sales as well, but nothing really later in the day. So we're looking pretty good, honestly. And Friday, we have PMI. So we're looking actually not too bad. We have a lot of news to get us going this week. So how much was it? How much money did I spend, or how much money was it per person? Per person, it was $280 a person. And after having the meal, I think that's a totally fair price. I could not eat any more food after that, bro. Like, I was so stuffed. When people go to like a restaurant, they're like, "Oh my God, it's such small portions. Like, I'm not gonna get full." Bro, you will get so full, bro. So full. Yeah, and it was a 2 Michelin star restaurant. It was absolutely fucking phenomenal. I spent $4,500 on art, but I got a good discount. The posters were originally $6,500, but since I'm close with the owner, he gave me $4,500. Phone died right in the middle, so I got to watch the recording too. I got you, brother. No worries. Justin, I ain't trying to be nosy, but bro, so much are you able to convert? You gotta speak English, brother. I can't read that shit. I don't know what you're trying to say, bro. The TT link for Top Step, it's honestly kind of dumb. You guys really don't get a discount. It's literally just to support tactical traders. Like unless Top Step has a discount, then there's no discount through our link, which is stupid. Kyrie, they're on the YouTube. They're either in my past channel, so here, go to here, or they're on YouTube. How much were you able to convert? I'm not going to say until later. Do you have a plan with withdrawing money to an actual? Do you have a plan of withdrawing money to an actual bank? What do you mean? I get back the 17th. No, the last charting session, the audio got corrupted. Much love, printer. I'm excited to get back, though, honestly. I have a lot of stuff that, like, I'm the kind of person where it's like, I take a trip, and by the end of the trip, I'm like, all right, I'm ready to get back to work. Like, I need, like, once I have time off and, like, I get to kind of, like, wind down, it just refuels the tank to get back going. So next year when we get back and it's Christmas time, next year, we're going fucking crazy. How does SL works when entering an investment? There is no SL. I buy as much as money I'm willing to lose. If you got a 20K account on one account and 10 on a few others, how much would you pay yourself out? Wait, for example, if you got 20K on one account and 10 on a few others, profit. Okay, it's all at the end of the month. So normally, like, when I withdraw profits, a lot of the times I won't withdraw profits until I feel, I don't really have like a system for it. It's just whenever again, that's the thing great about it is you have the kind of the freedom to decide how you want to do it. For me, like I haven't taken out a payout of any of my accounts probably in the last 2 months. Do you have any plans to travel the U.S. or more interested in exploring other countries? Probably other countries, Europe. You know. Yeah, but I would say every month. Every month is good. But again, I know traders that do every week. Any profits they made for the week, they take it out. I love the winter in Paris. There's like little to no tourists. More locals. You get all the Christmas markets and stuff. No, there's no snow in Paris. All right, guys. That's all I have for you guys tonight. Enjoy the rest of your guys' night. Get some rest. Let's have a good week. I'm excited to finally be back. It felt like it's been like 4 days, but it feels like it's been a long ass time. So get some rest. I will see you guys tomorrow morning. Peace.